Apparently, Jesse Puljujarvi signing a professional tryout contract with the Pittsburgh Penguins went completely under my radar, but it went well, and today he signed a 2-year, $1.6 million contract with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, that will run through the rest of this season and next. In the 13 tryout games he played with the Penguins AHL affiliate, he had 4 goals and 5 assists for 9 points in 13 games. Pretty good. And I gotta say, I'm pretty happy to see him have another crack at the NHL. He's certainly had an up and down career. First of all, he was a number 4 overall pick in 2016, so there were high expectations, and I mean, Edmonton surely would have hoped that he'd still be in their system and producing by now. After several seasons up and down with the Oilers and their minor league team, Puljujarvi had somewhat of a breakout in 2021 when he had 25 points in 55 games. Then in 2022, he further improved with 36 and 65, but as I'm sure many of you remember, last year he became pretty much the prime whipping boy for Edmonton Oilers fans and hockey media, as he produced just 14 points in the 58 games he played with that team. And what's more, his on-puck decision-making especially was often criticized. He was seen as a liability, and not great where he was on a new $3 million contract. So before the trade deadline, he signed with the Carolina Hurricanes. However, in the 17 regular season games he played, he had only 2 assists, and he only played 7 games during that deep playoff run for Carolina with just a single assist. So after his 1-year arbitrated contract ran out, well, that leaves us to where we are now. According to NHL.com, at a practice today, he skated on the Penguins' third line and is apparently feeling good after a hip procedure he had in the offseason. The Penguins have a pretty rough bottom 6. Actually, if I'm being honest, all of their wingers outside of their top line are pretty rough. So now's probably a
bottom 6. Bottom 3. It's early, so. Okay, so this hasn't been updated yet, so okay. Reichel's not that bad. Earl, he scores some goals, but not a lot. Wait, why is Jeff Carter on the third line? He's pretty good. Who the heck's Colin White? Is not the Pittsburgh Penguins that I grew up with.
good time to experiment because they're getting no secondary scoring right now, so why not take a risk? I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm sold on Puljujarvi based on me watching him in the past and the time he's missed. He could certainly be expected to have a slow start, but I think it makes sense for the Penguins to at least give him a look. The contract is small enough that I'm sure it'll be okay. But let me know your thoughts down below. We want it all. Before we begin, if you like our hockey coverage, we've got a new Facebook page where we're trying to put a bunch of different sports content. It's hard starting out. We'd really appreciate your support. Right now, we've got hockey, basketball, and football linked below. Does anybody think this is getting completely out of hand? Now, I've got to give credit to Luke Fox on Twitter for sharing this video. The Toronto Maple Leafs this evening had a video tribute for Pierre Engvall. Now, I've heard many people champion this cause. I've heard it on Chicklets. I've heard it on 32 Thoughts. The video tribute is becoming a little too common. Now, to be fair, it's not like you've only got a limited amount of spots per year, but I think you should save video tributes for at least fan favorite players. And nothing against Pierre Engvall, but the man only played about 250 games with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He had one 35-point season. I don't know. Surely he wouldn't make a mark in this game, right?
250 is a big number.
It was an entertaining game. Let's talk about
More
it. In the first, the Leafs just get
of the
outskated in
moment.
their own D zone. Islanders player with so much space, big one-timer off the post. Barzal collects it 1-0. Then on the 4-4, a nice move by Marner. He fakes the shot, keeps it, and puts it past Soroka. Not great D by the Islanders there. Pelech goes down. The rest of the team is covering JT 1-1. Then we get one of the most exciting moments, one of my favorite moments in hockey, the straight out of the penalty box goal. Kyle McLean grabs it up ice, first goal of his NHL career. And the cool thing here, his dad, John McLean, is actually an assistant coach for the Islanders, so he got the best seats in the house to watch his son score his first NHL goal. That is so cool. The Leafs would tie it up near the end of the third. I was hoping Matthews got the tip. I just want to see what sort of insane goal numbers he can put up, but it was the captain, JT. However, with 2 minutes remaining in the game, the prodigal son himself, Pierre Engvall, bats home a rebound to give the Islanders a 3-2 lead and to get the W.
Wait, I thought it
against
was
the
on
Leafs. Riley,
Toronto.
he looks pretty rough on that last goal. Bad communication and a misplay leads to Riley giving the puck over. Then I think
We're
more
gonna be
critically,
talking
he
about the
lets Pierre
Yammer
get
Yager
inside, and
stolen
old Slick Hands
bobbleheads
puts it
yet.
away. To talk about this really dirty hit to the head of Noel Acciari by Brendan Dillon in Tuesday night's Jets-Penguins game. 5 minutes into the second, Pens up
This
1-0.
isn't
Acciari
recent.
gets the pass along the boards. He's cruising. Puck gets a little ahead. He's leaning
Oh,
over, and
no.
Brendan Dillon just comes over and blows him up. He clips Acciari in the head with the shoulder, and Acciari goes tumbling away with his bucket flying. Dillon immediately gets jumped by the Pens, as he should, and Acciari is rough getting up. He's definitely concussed. He tries to get up, but he's got a bad case of the Bambi legs and smartly stayed down waiting for a trainer. It's one of the worst things to see in hockey when a player tries to get up, but their body just won't let them and they fall back down. And now, while I do think this was a greasy hit and is a clear hit to the head, I'm not sure it was done with complete malice. And before you jump down my throat, I guess let me finish. Dillon, to me at least, looked like he was trying to make a big play on the puck, but he did not take the right angle. You can see Acciari is reaching here. However, even though I'm saying it's without malice, this still falls on Dillon for the angle he took, and he would end up being assessed a match penalty for the hit, and just like that, he's gone, and the Pens are on a 5-minute power play, which they would use to their advantage to knock a couple more past Hellebuck. It would take them 3 minutes in the power play,
Get
where a
suspended
point shot
for
gets
that.
cleaned up in front by the old bag of
He
bones
should
going
get
by the name of Jeff
suspended a
Carter.
week.
Yes, it is that Jeff Carter. I sometimes forget he's still playing, but good on you, Jeff. 6th of the year while making a cool $3 million in Pittsburgh. And then with 20 seconds to go on the man advantage from the Dillon hit, Crosby takes an old
There you
slapper
go,
on
Carter
net. He doesn't
scored a
score,
goal.
but it
Told
gets
you
Hellebuck
he's
out of
good.
position as Gensel gets it over to Rust, who pots it. Crosby to
Why is he
Gensel
on
to
the
Rust. Who would have thought? Anybody who's watched the
fourth
Penguins game
line?
this
He
season,
should be
the
on
Pens would
like
go
the
up 3-0
second.
off the power play from the gross hit to the head, and that was all they needed as they took this one 3-0, with Jari retaking the lead for most shutouts. But how about the hit to the head? Do you think Dillon should be suspended a game for this? Also, this was Puljujärvi's first game back
I
in
think
the
he
NHL.
should
was
be
a +1.
suspended a
Thoughts on him as
week,
well,
like
down
the
below.
rest of the week. Oh crap. Hey, shout out to Alternate History Hub. He made a
Well, this is the most frustrated I've seen Connor McDavid in some time, and I can't blame him. The Edmonton Oilers tonight had a chance to make history, to tie the 92-93 Pittsburgh Penguins for the longest winning streak in NHL history at 17 games. Instead, they stand tied now at 2 with the Columbus Blue Jackets of 2016-2017, as they were beat tonight by the Vegas Golden Knights. And post-game, I saw some of the Sportsnet commentators talked about how good Edmonton looked, and they did. However, this was an absolute defensive clinic by Vegas. The first two periods were all about shot blocking. In the third, however, after going up 1, Vegas played completely shut down in their own zone. The Oilers kept trying to take it behind the Golden Knights net and feed it out front, but they were just getting out-bodied. Then they try to feed it back to the blue line again. Super active D by Vegas.
Oh.
And when Edmonton did get a chance,
we found the Edmonton Oilers Kryptonite.
Aiden Hill stood extremely.
Oh yeah, to all those non-DC fans, that's a reference to Superman. Look up Kryptonite.
Strong. The Oilers played well too, like no major issues this game, I thought. It was just a hard-fought game where the defending Stanley Cup champions came out on top. Edmonton scored early in what has to be one of the most terrifying stats in the NHL. A McDavid Draisaitl 2-on-0 shorthanded. However, in the first, Vegas would tie it with a hard-fought goal in front of the net. Nothing in the second, ton of block shots, and especially shot attempts by Vegas. Then, after a gorgeous Aiden Hill save, Vegas would get the game winner about a minute and a half in. That would be that. As for the Oilers, one player player I noticed? Corey Perry. He added some good grit. He was fighting the corners, and he was even spending a pretty good amount of time on that top line with McDavid. Oilers fans, though, what do you think about this
Corey
streak
Perry.
ending? I mean, I wrote the Oilers off pretty much early in the season. That's on me. I didn't see them going on a run like this.
I'm a
it's so
big
hard to make
fan
games
of
up in
Corey
the NHL when
Perry.
you go down
Ever
early in the
since-
season, so good for them. The
Ever
record to me is a
since
bit
he
iffy,
told
though.
me that
Like,
he
the
was
streaks
a
are a bit
good
easier in the
player.
modern NHL when we don't have ties. Like the Penguins.
Alrighty, go check out his hockey channel and go check out Pete, his football channel.
See you soon.
And go check out his Facebook.